The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Welcome to show number 599. Yes, just one show away from 600. That'll be next week. But we're glad you joined us here on the show. Another real estate radio adventure. As always, if you want to see this show again, we make a YouTube video so you can actually not only hear it, but you can see it. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's stewart.com/radio. In addition, you could also go to the show archive at Radio Bill, the YouTube channel, Radio Bill. And not only, again, you can see this show, you can access hundreds of shows, last week's, and all that. So easy to do, Radio Bill. And let's get started as we welcome Tony Cramond and Crystal Ambery. They are with
Cramond Lux Realty Group.
There you go. How about that? Ladies, I was going to ask you if you sing, but right there, that was so beautiful. Just one more time.
Cramond Lux Realty Group.
All right. What a way to get started. So awesome. Well, Tony, you are Tony Cramond. So let's tell people about the team, the group.
Cramond Lux Realty Group was founded in 2025. We are a boutique real estate team, and we focus primarily in Montgomery County. We help clients buy, sell, and lease as well as invest.
And for those outside of Houston, let's remind people Montgomery County, because it's a little bit different. We would say the northwest of Houston, northwest, but let's tell people some of the distinctions of Montgomery County, because it is a unique place.
It is unique. Montgomery County is in North Houston, and the cities up there are primarily the Woodlands, Conroe, Willis, Montgomery, Magnolia.
And Conroe's a big one. People hear about Conroe. People hear about the Woodlands all over the place, but certainly Conroe is right there too.
And Conroe is growing.
Booming. Yes.
Well, Crystal Ambery, so you are with the group. Let's tell people your role and what you're doing with the team.
Tony asked me to join her team, and I was excited to do so. She is a great leader. She is very educated on the real estate industry, and she makes sure that I'm the same. She pushes me to level up every day, and I couldn't be prouder to be where I am.
And it's always fun in real estate. I mean, some people work by themselves, but it's great when you have the team and the balance and work off each other, so to speak.
Yes, we work very well together. Crystal has been a great asset to the team. She helps with buyers and sellers as well as, leases. We've just done a really good job together, and we hope to grow our team.
Well, right now, Tony, as far as buyers and sellers, and I also want to get to the leases because that's something that we don't get to talk about enough. But with the buyers and sellers, are you working with more buyers or more sellers right at this moment?
Currently, we're working with mainly buyers. We have a lot of first-time home buyer clients, so we think that the market right now is it's shown us that this is very much a buyer's market, so a lot of our clients right now are buyers.
I would think that's a nice thing if I'm in the buying market or just get into it and I consult with you or Crystal and say, you have some good news to give the buyer that it is more of a buyer's market, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Especially with new home construction, they have many incentives for buyers. A lot of them are paying closing costs for their buyers. So I feel that new home construction is pretty much the way to go for first-time home buyers.
And I'm glad you brought that up because in the Montgomery area, I know a while ago there was a lot of new home construction and a lot available for people, but it's still like that right now, Crystal?
Yes, absolutely. All over the Montgomery County area. So whether you're looking to live off of 59 in the Porter area, 1488, Magnolia, close to 45, which is anywhere from Conroe to Spring, there's homes available.
And what's nicer than moving into a home, especially after being in a home that's a little older, but I think it must be really nice to open the keys to the brand new home smell, right? Just like a new car smell.
Yep.
People
absolutely.
love it, right, Crystal?
Yep, they sure do. They get a sense of accomplishment for both us and the buyer. I think it's good for their families, the little ones, to see, okay, mom and dad have purchased this house. We're in something brand new. Everybody likes brand new. They get to choose their rooms. They get to, we like to buy closing gifts for our clients. So a lot of them, especially Tony, she's a big gifter. Hey, if you get a new trampoline in your backyard, like that's big for them.
Big gifts, Tony. That's awesome. So, and one of the things, as far as we've heard it before, but the new home builders, they are offering some extra incentives at this point in time because, like you said, Tony, it's a buyer's market.
Correct. It's a buyer's market. And a lot of the new construction builders are offering like special rates to help buyers, kind of be able to afford their new monthly payments. They're offering closing costs. A lot of them, the new homes come with all of the appliances. So really all the buyer has to do is bring their clothes and the home is ready to go.
That's pretty awesome. So as far as sellers, let's talk a little bit about a seller that might be in, I don't know, pick a town, maybe Conroe, or if we're in the Woodlands and someone's wanting to sell their home, a family or individual. How are you counseling the sellers right now in the marketplace, Tony?
Well, I think the main thing in today's market is to make sure that you price the home accordingly. If your home is overpriced, it's going to sit. So we need to make sure that we price it competitively. That would be my main advice for sellers.
And as far as when you have a seller in the marketplace, again, either one of those Montgomery areas, is there a common reason people are selling these days? Are you running into anyone that's leaving Houston or the state of Texas?
I'm not really running into anyone that's leaving the state. A lot of people want to downsize. So, they're moving into something, the kids have grown up and they want something a little bit smaller. I don't have a lot of clients moving out of the state, but I do have a lot of clients that are moving into Houston.
And you run into these people moving into Houston?
Yes.
And how do they find
Kramer Lux Realty Group? I've helped clients move from New York, Alabama, California, and they mainly find me through referrals from other agents or even on social media.
That to me, that would be part of the excitement, to know that here you are, working and marketing and doing a great job for buyers and sellers, but yet here thousands of miles away in New York, they find you and you're able to help them.
Yes, I just helped a family move here from New York a couple of weeks ago.
What city, by the way?
Queens, New York.
So the actual New York City. Because, the New York, there's a lot, I'm from the Pennsylvania area, there's a lot of beautiful country in the upstate parts of PA and New York. So
yeah.
So and then how do you work amongst the team? Let's say you get somebody from far away or another state. Crystal, what's the process?
Most of the time, if they're looking to move into the area, they've already done their research. Our main goal is to match them with an area that fits their lifestyle, their family, if they have a family. Lots of them want to be in an area where the schools are good. So we just try to make sure that they fit where they need to for work and those types of things.
And you mentioned at the beginning about leasing, right?
Yes.
What's going on in leasing?
The rental industry is pretty robust. We have a lot of clients that are leasing at the moment. So the rental industry is very active right now.
Give us a word as far as the process, because we talk about selling here and buying and all that. But in leasing, what's the process? Let's say I want to get a, 2,500 square foot home in, pick on Conroe again. Okay. So what's the process? I call you up, hey, I want to rent a house for a year. And then what happens?
It's very similar to the buying process.
Yes.
We have a consultation. We sit down and we talk about, what your needs and your wants are. And then we create a list, I curate a list of homes, and then we make a plan to go out and see those homes. We talk about things like credit, animals, and exactly what they're looking for in a lease home. And then we do try to make a pathway for home ownership because we don't want them to have to lease indefinitely. But the leasing process is pretty much the same as the buying process or the consultation.
And then is that typical? Is a 1 year lease still a thing, or can we get a 2 year or 6 month even? Or
most of the time a 1 year lease
standard
is
kinda
standard, and that's what I recommend. Just so you can get acclimated to the home, the area, the landlord. I recommend a 1 year lease to start.
And the people from Queens, New York,
Yes.
Did they buy or did they lease?
They purchased.
They purchased. Mm-hmm. So then they had time to find what they liked.
Yes, we started in September and we closed in March.
Well, there you go.
Yes, she made several trips to Houston. We looked all over Houston, from Pearland to Cypress to Conroe.
Very interesting. We're talking with Tony Cramond and Crystal Ambery. They are with
Cramond Lux Realty Group.
I love that. And now, Tony, before we close this segment, what else you want people to know, Tony?
Cramond Lux Realty Group is a boutique real estate team in the Montgomery County area. We serve buyers, sellers, renters, and investors. We are very active in the community. We are focused on real estate and making sure we provide a positive client experience. We live in the community, so the community is very special to us. We make sure that we give back to the community. So that's just a little bit about Cramond Lux Realty Group.
And if someone wants to reach out to you, Tony, what should they do?
They can call me at 832-797-0145, or you can reach me at Tony, Toni, at CramondLuxRealtyGroup.com. 832-797-0145.
And Crystal, how can they reach you?
My number is 936-207-0258, or you can also reach me by my email at Crystal, that's Christ, A-L, at Cramond Lux Realty Group, 936-207-0258.
And if someone forgot the name of your company, it is
Cramond Lux Realty Group.
All right, guys, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go. Up on the Roof with Mark McGuire. His company is AO1 Roofing. Mark, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Roofs are everywhere, Mark. I'm telling you like you don't know. But roofing is also fascinating. It plays a role in so much in terms of insurance, in terms of keeping us protected. And we see roofs going out in my neighborhood. They're going up all the time. But let's tell people, first of all, about your company and maybe a few company distinctions as you're putting on roofs all the time, you and the team.
Yes, sir. AO1 Roofing and Construction, LLC. We've been in business since March of 2019. We just celebrated our 7-year anniversary of our first roof that we ever built. The business was kind of static for about 20 to 25 years, kind of the same thing over and over, rinse and repeat, copy and paste, whatever you want to call it. But it's went through some drastic changes the last year. The majority of our work was insurance work, and now the majority of our work is retail work, which is where the customer has to private pay. And so now the first thing you have to ask customers, instead of asking them to look at their roof, is you have to ask them what their deductible is. Everybody used to carry a 1% deductible on their home for any kind of catastrophic event. They're having to carry a 3% now. Some are even carrying 5% deductibles just to lower the insurance premiums every month so they can afford their mortgage.
Well, it also seems, too, that roofing, I'm thinking back to at least 2-3 roofs I've had put on in my lifetime, but also the cost has gone up from a material standpoint, and I would imagine even labor. So right now, give us an idea. Let's take a standard roof, and whatever. There is no standard. I know that there's no normal, but let's say there is, and it's a 2,500 square foot home, right? One floor, and it doesn't have anything complex. It's just like a box with a roof. So as a starting point, as an idea, what's kind of the beginning price?
Sure,
for
I
something
can.
like that?
I can give you the average price of a roof. I mean, it obviously depends on which area of town you're in. Roofs are obviously bigger in some sort of towns. You take a Sugar Land, it's probably going to be a little bigger than a Pasadena. But an average roof costs the homeowner about $13,000 right now.
So that's kind of an average right now. And it's interesting, too, as I look at pictures in real estate and I read the Wall Street Journal, the homes, the $40 million, the $78 million homes, it's like, wow, that's expensive to buy a home. But, boy, if you ever had to replace the roof, that's got to be sky high.
Well, it's kind of interesting because you pull up to these homes and you typically assume, like, okay, you got a $3.5 million home. The price of your metal or tile or slate roof that you have is not going to be a big problem for you, but you'd be really surprised. People get surprised when they get a six-figure ticket for their roof. So,
well, also, as far as roofs go, when's a good rule of thumb in terms of maybe inspecting your roof? How do we know? Let's say we have a roof that's maybe 8-9 years old, give or take. Houston's a harsh environment, I would imagine, maybe more so than other places. But at what point do we know if we need a new roof, or maybe we just need repairs? What's kind of the bullet points there?
Well, your roof is no different than your HVAC system. It needs maintenance just like your HVAC system does. There is the Texas heat is merciless. It is not forgiving. It is very hard on roof jacks, penetrations, flashing. All of those things have to be sealed. And that sealant is good for about 5 years. And so if you have a roof that's over 5 years, you need to just at least get some eyes on it, get it checked out, get it resealed, get a maintenance, as we call it, done on the roof just to make sure it lasts you for the life of the shingle.
So your company, AL1 Roofing, you're putting on roofs, but you're also repairing and inspecting if someone wants to make sure that things are okay.
We repair and inspect a roof every day. Sometimes we look at it and it's in great shape, and we leave a business card and build a lasting relationship, and sometimes we have to do some minor repairs. The manufacturer warranty does not include every piece on the roof for the life of the roof. It's pretty much the shingles, okay? And so when you have things like roof jacks, which is what comes through around any penetration that you have on your roof, those things need some service. And they most likely will not last the life of the roof.
And the roof jack, just to be clear, were those pipes, to put it simply, those pipes that stick out of the roof.
Yes.
And it's funny, until you look at your roof, you don't realize all the pipes that you have sticking out there.
Most houses have between 6 to 12.
There you go.
Depending on the size.
But on that pipe that sticks out, these are the
There's
things
a base.
There's
a galvanized metal base. And the galvanized metal will last, but there's a ring that goes around it that doesn't last as long. And there has to be a place to put the nails in, and sealant has to go over those nails. And as the real estate people would know, that that's the most common thing on an inspection report when you're buying a home, is they take pictures of the exposed nails. It just needs a tune-up.
That's good to know. So as far as, and one of the things I see in my neighborhood, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like these homes that are about 2,500 square feet, when I'm walking around, the roofers are up early in the morning, as early as possible, and they're getting I'm amazed at the speed and precision where I see roofers working. And it's like 2 days later, the roof's on.
Well, there's power in numbers, and you want to get that roof, you want to get the tough part of that roof done before it gets real hot, especially now that we're coming into the summer months. You want to have the grunt part, per se, done to that roof by 1 o'clock.
We're talking with Mark McGuire with AO1 Roofing. The other thing I'm thinking about, Mark, is we're talking about the heat coming up. There's hurricane season coming up, and I purposely don't want to remember when that starts. I know it goes till November, but I don't want to think about it. But I'm thinking about it now, and thinking about it, the other time you would inspect, if we have a storm blow through here and it's going to hit one area more than the other, but people can reach out to you as well if, hey, the wind really blew, I need to have somebody, especially a two-story home where we can't get up on it ourselves, they could call you to get an inspection to say, hey, well, we blew a few shingles off here, or everything's okay, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I always, if a storm even gets close to, there can be a 10% chance of a storm hitting the Gulf, and our phone just starts blowing up. because now it's a top of mind for people, right? People like to get their house painted. They like to get new landscaping. They like to get all the things that are really pretty. Nobody wants to mess with a roof until they have to. And so, I always encourage people, like, just have a regular maintenance done on your roof. It will save you some headaches. And if you have a good high wind rated roof, a Cat 1 hurricane it should not affect it, but you have to take care of it.
And you got to be, and again, my house is 2 stories, so that creates another challenge for me, the homeowner, because I'm not going to get on 2 stories anymore.
Don't get on that roof, Bill. I've seen your house.
I don't want to get on it. And I've seen people go up there to inspect through the years or whatever, and I had someone repair my jacks like a year and a half ago, and I'm thinking, man, that is so high up there. But anyway.
Well, the good news is technology is our friend also, right? And, we have drones that we use. We have a licensed drone guy in the company, and if it's too tough to get up there and do a physical inspection, we can fly the drone and look. And those drones are amazing now, by the way, in case they've come a long way in the last 10 years.
Right.
They weren't as reliable before, but they're spot on now.
And also the cameras are so good. It gets if you get the right resolution is so good. So what are some of the other things we should know or people know about roofing? And you mentioned maintenance. I think, as you said, people don't think about it till they maybe need a new roof, but maintenance is important. Are there any warning signs that are going to tell us that we need to have you come out there other than maybe just a periodic?
Yeah, so one of the things that people ignore a lot is cleaning out your gutters. What happens if you do not...
people like me?
I wasn't going to call anyone's name out, but if you'll keep your gutters clean, that will help you around the perimeter of your home.
Really?
If the gutter backs up, that means the water backs up. And when the water backs up,
it goes back on the roof.
That's right. It's sitting in an area that is designed to have water flow, not water set. And so a lot of times what will happen is around the eave of the roof, you will get rotten decking, and it's a very expensive repair.
That's a good reason to keep. I never think about my gutters.
I mean, and there's not really a gutter cleaning service per se. I mean, that's not really a big deal. Usually people have their landscapers do it. So,
well, another thing, Mark, as far as I mentioned 8-9 years on a roof. How long does a roof last? Typically, no normal, I know, but here in Houston, Texas,
20 years.
20 years is a good number.
20 years.
Okay, so I mean, I
say it all the time.
30-year shingle,
50-year shingle, all that
doesn't matter. It's about 20.
Take a roof in Deer Park, Texas, and it's going to last 20 years.
Geographically, where do you cover?
We cover the entire region. So all the way to Waller County, Montgomery County. We actually have another office in Montgomery County on Honey, Egypt, and Magnolia. Our corporate office is in Pasadena on the southeast side, so obviously we cover the south Galveston County, Brazoria, Chambers County.
Sounds good, Mark. Let's tell people how they can reach you for a new roof, an estimate, a repair, an inspection.
I'm going to make it easy. 713-715-ROOF. 713-715-ROOF.
Mark McGuire, thanks for being with us, Mark.
It is my pleasure. Thank you, Bill.
And now we welcome Devany Divin. She is our escrow officer, one of our escrow officers, doing magnificent work every day at Stewart Title in Sugar Land, Texas. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Bill. How are you?
Doing great. First of all, let's tell people, escrow officer, it's rare that we get an escrow officer on the show, so we're so excited. Kevin Davison invited you, and that was a stroke of genius. So let's tell people, because it's kind of mysterious, right? Let's tell people what an escrow officer does in case they don't know.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times it's like we fix the problem you don't even know that you have. Simple terms, we are the person that is signing your paperwork up when you're buying or selling your house. So I'm the notary that's stamping it. But a little deeper, we're searching your title, making sure everything is free and clear when the new buyers are purchasing their home. So you don't have any problems with liens in the future, taxes that haven't been paid, HOA that hasn't been paid.
So many things.
So many. I could go on for like hours, to be honest.
I mean, and that's the thing that astounds me. There's so many details, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to be very organized, and it's cliche, but every real estate transaction is different, right?
Yes, 100%.
So when it comes in, what's the very first starting thing where they bring a contract to Stewart Title to you right there in Sugar Land? What's the first thing you do?
Yeah, so they'll email it over to me usually. Sometimes they'll pop in and, hey, here's a contract. And I'm like, okay, first
That's
of all,
kind of
thank
nice,
you.
though, right? You get to meet them. Okay.
All about relationships. I think relationships are so important. So whether we get to see them in person or it's an email or a phone call saying, hey, it's coming in, we're saying thank you. And then a lot of the times, if it's someone I've worked with already, it's kind of quick, like, okay, thanks. You'll hear from me in a day or two, or today when I get earnest money. But at first, I'll just introduce myself to everybody and let them know, hey, I got the contract. I'm the escrow officer. I have an assistant. Her name's Renee. This is her contact information. We're looking for earnest money, option money. And then in a couple of days, you'll hear back from us again. We'll get our title work back from our examiners, and we'll tell you what we got.
And again, there's so many things that come together because in moving a bit forward, the very end, when the closing takes place, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the buyers get the keys, right?
Yeah. The exciting part.
The commissions are dispersed.
Yeah.
The sellers get their check. I mean, it comes together like a Swiss watch.
Right. Like nothing ever happened. Sometimes nothing does happen. It's super easy, fast, no problems, no hiccups. But sometimes it's like, oh, we didn't all just sweat a little bit there thinking this is never going to happen.
Well, and that said, every once in a while there might be a detour in the road and when that happens, is there any one thing that happens on a regular basis that might slow down the process or even a surprise at the end when you think it's going to close and then here comes a surprise? If so, is there anything that's a common thing that's like, oh, there's that again?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, obviously, like you said, all transactions are completely different, but communication is really important. So listing agents, if their sellers haven't communicated with them, or if their listing agent hasn't communicated enough, like gotten enough information from their sellers, there's certain things that might come up that we just are not going to know about. So sellers have an extra SBA loan, or they have some kind of lien that we had no idea about because nobody asked the question. So it might be something that some payoffs take 2 days to get, some payoffs take 3 months to get. It just depends on who we're dealing with, and how quickly, if we can get the right person.
What are you doing as far as communication? You said communication is so important.
Yeah.
So other than doing the details and all the different things, what are you doing to make sure the communication is right? Because that seems so vital.
Yeah. So for me personally, I like to talk to people. Hey, what are you expecting for these agents? Do you want me to call you every week and let you know like there's no update? Or are you the type like me? If I'm not talking to you, it's good.
Everything's okay.
We're on a downhill spiral. We're there. We're getting to the finish line, right? So for me, I like to just ask people, hey, this is how I do my business. And if you want me to call you, I'll call you more often. That's totally fine. I'll email. I like to tell people, hey, here's the commitment. In a day or two, you'll get an email from us ordering HOA documents. And a couple days before closing, sometimes a week if I'm able to, depending on the transaction, I'll say, hey, this is what you should expect on the closing day. We need a cashier's check, wire transfer, all that kind of stuff. So I like to communicate as early on in the process as possible, but it's not always easy to be early.
And as far as let's take and through the seasons and in the years that go by, I'm sure there's different amounts, but let's just say in the last 10 transactions that you've worked with, how many might have been cash transactions?
Oh, wow. In the last 10, I'd say probably about 7. I feel like we have a lot right now.
So there's a lot of it. So right now the cash is king.
I had 2 that were closed in a week, cash.
And you just answered the question I was going to ask. With the cash, we could close quicker, right?
Sometimes, yeah. If there's no HOA, then we're gold. Like there's usually not a problem. Our examiners at Stewart are amazing. I don't know how they do what they do, but I mean, sometimes we get title work back in a day when it used to be more like a week, so.
Okay, then let's take the other example of a mortgage. A mortgage is involved, so what does that do to create? I imagine it creates more work for the whole process. But from your escrow officer perspective, what does the mortgage when a mortgage is involved? What does that
for the buyers
for your workflow? What happens?
Yeah, for the buyers, it really. I have a few extra documents I have to get together, and then I won't like complain about my job, but I have to go back and forth with the lender quite a bit to get to a balanced closing statement. So it'll add a little extra work. The lender has a whole nother job that I am so glad it's not my job, right?
Me too. I'm with you there.
So they do their job, and that's what takes ultimately a long time because they have their own underwriters to get approval from. So that adds, I would say, an extra 2-3 weeks to closing. But, ultimately it's not too much extra work except for you're signing about 500 extra pages at closing.
Well, and then you have another entity to communicate with.
Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like you're in the center of communicating all day long.
Yeah.
And you're doing the work with all the various paperwork and documents. Right?
Yes. Yeah. It's hard to keep organized. You have to be one of those, like we always joke, you almost have to be ADD to be an escrow officer. You have to be able to work on one next here or there and stay organized.
Well, let's say with all your experience, if someone was starting out as an escrow officer, what advice would you give them to say, okay, here's how you stay, here's my technique of staying organized throughout this process as you go forward? Do you have a special technique? Because if you do, we could use it in our other things.
Yeah, definitely. So my manager, Caitlin Korinek, she's the branch manager in Sugarland. She taught me everything I know, and so she just basically gave me everything I needed.
You're carrying
basically
forth the recipe, right?
Yeah, we have like a flow chart that just lists everything that we're like the basics of what we always need for closing. And then, you look at the commitment and you realize, I need an extra thing. And I always just make notes for everything I do.
Now, do you see as technology is rapidly changing, right? Do you see that changing your process, what you're doing here this year versus what you did 3 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. I have a hybrid closing tomorrow with a lender. So it used to be that I said 500 pages earlier, but really like 120 pages for your mortgage documents.
Still a lot, yeah.
It's still a lot, yeah.
Wait. 120 just for the mortgage?
For the mortgage documents,
wow.
Right? Yeah. Oh, but now that's what it was when I first started about 9 years ago. Now it's almost all of them are hybrid, and we have about 8 documents. You're in and out in 15 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice. People love that. They don't want to sit in the office for 2 hours on a Friday.
Exactly. So you're staying organized. You have a formula to be able to exceed expectations at Stewart Title, Sugarland.
Correct.
Divin,
Yes.
doing tremendous work, right?
Yes, sir.
What is it you love so much that you're doing it over 9 years now?
Yeah, I just like the different personalities that you meet, even when I get someone that's really hard-headed and difficult,
There
in
are
the
people
moment.
like that out there?
What? No, I don't know.
Just a few?
In the moment you might get a little frustrated, but then afterwards you just realize, wow, I am so lucky to be working with some really great people as well. So I like to just meet new people and help people. There's a lot of sellers who need to get out of their house. There's a lot of buyers who are first-time home buyers. I love taking pictures with them and just letting them know, like, yay, you did it, and you have a great realtor by your side usually.
That's right. Well, and that's the other aspect, the psychological aspect of after the sale is closed, all parties go on to the next chapter of their life, including the escrow officer.
Yes. I'm like, whew.
So when you're not doing tremendous work at Stewart Title, Sugarland, how do you unwind? Do you have a hobby or what's happening?
Yeah, I have 2 stepchildren, 14 and 16, and then I have a 2-year-old son. So they keep me on my toes a lot of the times. And then now is my favorite time of the year. It's spring, so I'm a gardener. I do like to get in the garden.
There you go. Sounds good. So let's tell people how to reach you. I know they want to bring the real estate transactions to Stewart Title. Divin, they want to bring them right there to you at Stewart Title in Sugarland. Let's tell people how they can reach the office.
Yeah, our office number is 281-491-7050. And then again, office number is 281-491-7050. And then my email is ddivin@stewart.com.
I want to buy a house just so I can bring the transaction to you now. I'll work on it, okay?
Okay, I'm going to keep you on that one.
Stewart Title Sugarland. Everybody's going to run there right now. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Bill.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Howdy, Bill.
Well, here we are again, John.
Always a pleasure.
$599.
$599.
Next week will be $600.
Next week will be $600.
Should be fun. We have a special guest aligned, so it's going to be great.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
But here we are today, and it's insurance time once again. What should we know?
Let's talk a little bit about investment property.
Yeah.
So an insurance company is going to make a determination on the appropriate coverage for a piece of property based upon how it's used. And we know that a lot of our listeners buy homes for investment property. But many times there's a confusion that if I'm buying a home for investment property, since it's a home, my home insurance policy will cover it. And a home insurance policy is great if it's your primary residence and you're going to be living there. You're the one that owns it and it's your primary residence. But if it's an investment property that you're going to lease out, for example, then you would need to consider dwelling fire coverage. And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today.
Wow. And I think that's a thing, too. Sometimes people, they're so busy doing things that if the status of the property changes from one thing to another, they forget. So it's good we're talking about it.
Absolutely. So it's as the use of the property changes or who's using the property changes or how the property is being used, then that's going to drive the coverage. So, again, if you've bought a home but you're going to lease it out, you're going to use it as a long-term investment property, you would want to consider dwelling fire coverage. And what that does is it lets you know what is and is not covered for that home. It's not going to be as comprehensive of a coverage as home insurance because you're really more concerned about the structure itself and not so much the contents, because that's generally going to be the responsibility of the tenant. So there are several forms that we can look at. There's a basic, a broad, and a special coverage. And depending upon the age of the home and how the home is being used, how often the home is being used, then that many times will drive whether we're looking at a basic or broad or special coverage. So a basic coverage would be a named perils policy, which we've talked about before. So it's going to list, here are the perils that we'll cover. And a peril is strictly, as in the insurance term, is strictly what's the root cause of damage? What was the initial cause of the damage? And then it's going to be an actual cash value policy. So that means that they're going to depreciate the property for its age before they make any payments out. So in a basic policy, you're going to look at things like fire, lightning, vandalism. You can add windstorm and hail. Those are kind of the basic perils that you would have. If you want to move up a step up, then you can look at a broad policy that's going to be a named perils policy. So that's going to be, again, it's going to list, here are the perils that will cover, and nothing else will be, but it's going to be replacement cost. So it's a little bit better coverage. So depreciation doesn't come into play. So whatever the cost is to repair or replace at today's market value, that's what they'll use versus depreciating for the life of the home. So it's a bit more broader coverage, hence the term broad. And then you can add things like ice and snow or falling objects, frozen pipes, sudden water damage, theft can be added. You can also add loss of use, which is really nice. So let's say you had you had a rental home and the tenant had to move out while you're doing the repairs. So loss of use would basically cover some of the loss of income. So sometimes you'll hear it called loss of rent or loss of income, but it'll help offset some of that loss of revenue while the tenant's out. So that's always very nice to have. And then if you wanted the special, that's going to be an all perils policy. So that says we'll cover all perils except for those that are listed in the policy. So that's much more comprehensive coverage. And it has all the same things that we talked about before, but it's just a broader coverage. So it's much more comprehensive. The premium is going to be higher, so the cost of the insurance is going to be higher. So again, how often the home is being leased, the size of the home, the age of the home, and how it's being used can all drive whether you want a basic, a broad, or special coverage.
Yeah, I'm stuck on the falling objects, John. I'm imagining what kind of things are, and when you start to think about it, there could all sorts of things could be falling on the home.
Any
Rocks,
kind of thing.
And,
So
I mean,
yeah,
something from a tree,
something from a tree, something gets blown onto the home. So exactly, that's right. And then, or if you think about some of the freezes that we've had over the last couple of years, and you get that ice and snow, and you've got that heavy limb that maybe it's over the house, and that freezes, and the limb breaks off and falls on and damages the home. That's potentially where a dwelling fire policy could come into play.
It's a reminder. At my own, it's time to trim the trees too. By the way,
it is
because hurricane season's
hurricane season. Yes,
don't tell me when it starts.
I won't.
But anyway, so we got to be ready for anything, and that's why we want to be properly insured.
We do, and then again, the critical aspect is understanding that when you're making a purchase for real estate, that you spend a few minutes with your insurance advisor and let them know how you're going to be using that property, and based upon how you're using that property, that's going to direct what the coverage is, or if that use changes. So let's say you decide to sell your home, Bill, and you're going to move away, but it's going to take, let's say, more than 30 days to sell your home. So your home is vacant or unoccupied for that 30-day period. At some point, and usually after 30 consecutive days, the home insurance policy is going to stop, because that's more risk than they're willing to take on. So then that's when you would want to look at maybe a vacant home policy that could last for the period that we think the home is going to be vacant. So again, how the property is being used and any changes in that use or lack of use then can direct what the coverage ought to be.
Yeah, and the reverse is true as well. So, we may be moving from New York or something like that. We buy the home. We're not ready to get there, but it starts out for the first 2 months as a vacant home policy, and then we move in. We change it. We call up Stewart Insurance.
Absolutely. So it's just letting us know how you're going to be using what you're purchasing, how you're going to be using it, what your concerns are, and from that, then we can build a plan that best suits your family's needs.
Sounds good, John. What else should we know?
Well, if you'd like to be properly insured, if you've got some investment property you'd like to have some coverage on, or at least maybe look at some options, we'd be happy to help you out there. And you can call the team at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com or email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
And, of course, we remind people that, yes, we're right here in the Houston area, the broadcast area. People are listening, but, hey, if you're in Indiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, places where there's actually snow that might fall on your house, you're serving people all over the place there at Stewart Insurance,
We
John.
do. We have both families and business clients all over the U.S.
Sounds good. The phone number, again, is
866-798-2827.
Good to see you again. We'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
And now, speaking of Montgomery County, serving Stewart title as a business development officer in a magnificent way 24/7, Hope Moy is here. Hope, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill. Good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you again, as always. Well, let's remind people the two offices you represent.
So I am in the Magnolia and Conroe office. I have two fantastic escrow officers in my Magnolia office off of 1488. And I also have 3 in Conroe. We have a new escrow officer in Conroe that I want to tell you about.
We want to say hello to her, too, because she's probably listening.
I know. I'm going to tell her to listen for sure. But her name is Michelle Rogers. She is in her 3rd week in our Conroe office, and she comes to us with 20 years of experience.
Wow.
Yes. I'm super excited to have her.
Well, I mean, it might bring her on the show sometime and to visit. But also, is this a sign of the growth that we hear about in Montgomery County and in Conroe?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Conroe's growing, Magnolia's growing, the Woodlands is growing, all of Montgomery County. As Tony and Crystal said earlier, there's a ton of growth. So we're excited to continue that.
Very exciting. Hope, what else should we know?
We want to partner with you. We want to work with you. We want to be a trusted resource for all of our realtor lender partners. So, we are just a phone call away. So give me a call if there's anything I can ever help you with, resource-wise, marketing tools, business growth, anything that entails.
And I mentioned Conroe as growth, but Magnolia also is unbelievable where it was. I remember people buying stuff 8 years ago,
Yes.
and I'm thinking, wow, that's far out. But Magnolia's
I mean,
exploding.
The growth from 45 now all the way, into the Magnolia proper, and now there's Aggie Expressway that runs through there. There's tons of new commercial, lots of community development plans. So they're thinking about building they're working on another high school, a new junior high. So if that doesn't speak, growth, I don't know what does, because we're needing new schools. My number is 346-224-1908. Again, it's 346-224-1908.
And again, we want to say hello to Michelle Rogers. Hello, Michelle, right, Hope?
Yes. Hey, Michelle. Welcome. Welcome to Stewart.
Welcome to Stewart. Thanks for being with us, Hope.
Thank you so much.
And now, how sweet it is from Sugar Land. Kevin Davidson, developing business in a tremendous way every day out there. And he had the brainstorm to bring on Devin on the show, Escrow office. It was a stroke of genius. Kevin, way to go.
I appreciate that. She does an excellent job at our office.
Well, Kevin, let's tell people what's going on, not only in Sugar Land, but you're also leading the charge in Fort Bend. What's happening?
Yeah, so over in Sugar Land and Richmond, our Richmond office has had a facelift, and we have some new employees. Alyssa Friedrich, and I probably said that wrong, but she's been with us for about a month and a half now.
Hello, Alyssa.
Hello, Alyssa. And then Gracie and Melissa are the escrow officers over there. And in the last few months, it's taken off like crazy over there.
Well, again, there's so much growth everywhere in Houston, it seems like, Kevin, but certainly in your area. And we, of course, welcome all the above to the team, and it's going to be great as they're out there.
Yeah, so we decided to jump in the car and go west to Wharton County and go say hi to a whole bunch of agents out there. And they only had a couple of choices of escrow title companies, and it was a good idea. We got a lot new clients and helping a lot more agents out there than we ever thought we would.
Sounds awesome. Well, you're doing a lot of classes. You're doing so many things to help marketing with real estate agents, also doing so many things to connect with the community.
Everybody should write the date down. April 16th. I believe it's a Thursday, April 16th.
Right after the taxes are due, the 15th.
The day after. Yeah. Inviting all real estate agents to come out to the Richmond office because we are having our annual crawfish boil, which is the largest party that we throw every year.
That sounds good. Let's tell people, again, the date is April 16th, easy to remember, right after the tax day.
From 4 to 7 p.m., and the Richmond office is at 2116 Thompson Road in Richmond. 832-654-0527, 832-654-0527.
Kevin, thanks for being with us.
Appreciate you, Bill.
And now they are back.
Kramer Lux Realty Group.
All right, a little slow on the draw, but so was I. Meanwhile, ladies, let's tell people, what else should we know? Remind them you're in Montgomery County working as a team. Tony, Crystal?
Yes. So not only do we live and work in Montgomery County, we also give back to Montgomery County. We are both animal lovers, so we support the Montgomery County Animal District. And we also have partnered with Kids Meals of Montgomery County. We have also done events with the Forest Cottage Senior Citizen Home. We've done Meals on Wheels, and we recently donated a basket to the Child Advocates Gala of Montgomery County.
How do you have time to sell real estate if you're doing? That's amazing that you're connecting with the community in such a tremendous way.
It's very important to us to give back.
And of course, real estate goes hand in hand with helping and connecting.
Absolutely. And I also like to give back to 4-H. 4-H Club. Yes, my daughter is a secretary of the Willis 4-H Club, and we just give back to that just so that these kids can have their animals. They, we donate different things. Just left the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We have the Montgomery County Fair coming up. So, yeah, you can find us out there.
And Tony, as far as helping the animals, is that with the 4-H or what else are you doing with animals? Anything else?
The Montgomery County Animal Shelter.
So that's dogs and cats.
Yes, well, dogs and cats, but I'm more of a dog person.
You are?
But you can walk their dogs and provide supplies and different things to the animal shelter.
Do you have
for
a
those
dog?
Dogs. Yes, I do have a dog.
How many?
I have one. She is a mini golden doodle. Her name is Teddy Love.
Oh, I have a doodle too.
You do?
A day without a doodle
Yes.
is a day without something. I don't know.
What's your doodle's name?
Courage.
Kurt. Oh, that's cute.
And actually, he belongs to an organization that reaches out to the community, helping traumatized children and other trauma situations. But I am his parent guardian, and his name's Courage, and he, along with the other doodles, it's a doodle outreach, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, doing tremendous work. But dogs are fantastic. Crystal, do you have a dog?
I do not.
Okay, well,
We just have pigs.
Well, do you have pigs?
Yes.
There you go. Well, that's on another show. Ladies, let's tell people how to reach you.
Tony Cramond, 832-797-0145. Tony, Toni, at CramondLuxRealtyGroup.com.
Crystal, what's your number?
936-207-0258. Crystal Christ AL at CramondLuxRealtyGroup.com.
Sounds good. Thanks for being with us, ladies, because
Thank
you are
you.
with.
Cramond Lux Realty Group.
And now, up on the roof, he's back. He's coming down off the roof to speak to us for a final time, Mark McGuire. You know, Mark, it dawns on me, you have a tremendous wife, and her name is Jana McGuire. Should we say hi to her? She's just super awesome, isn't she?
Of course. She's the best to me.
Jana McGuire. In the meantime, Mark, what else should we know? Roof inspections. I need a new roof. All those things. You can help people.
Yeah, let me just give one last word, something that kind of was on my mind as I was standing there, is, it's been probably the worst year for roofing in the last couple of decades. A lot of companies have went out of business. A lot of companies have had to merge or get bought out to stay alive. I mean, obviously roofs aren't going anywhere, so roofing isn't going anywhere, but it was a really tough year. Pay attention to that when you're picking your contractor, right? They should have some reviews. They should have a Facebook page. They should have a membership with the BBB.
A reference.
Just to make sure they're still around when you need warranty help, because it's Houston. You're going to need some warranty help. It's just the way it is. 713-715-ROOF. That's 713-715-ROOF, or you can always check us out on the web, ao1roofing.com.
Mark, thanks for being with us. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Bill.
And now, Devaney, it's extra special that you're with us today, but also extra special that you and I were closing the show down together. Did you ever do that before?
No, I haven't.
Until today.
Yeah, it's my first.
Awesome. Well, final word. Let's tell people again. People are in the process. They're thinking about buying and selling, and they say, man, I need the right escrow officer. I need the right office, Stewart Title, Sugar Land, right?
Yeah, if you're in the Sugar Land area or neighboring Houston, we have a Richmond office too, so they're great as well. Call us or talk to your real estate agent. Maybe they don't have a preferred title company. We'd love to do business with them. We're always open.
Phone number?
281-491-7050. Yes, we do residential, commercial, refinances.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on in commercial too. Sometimes we forget to mention that.
281-491-7050.
And was this a good experience for you today?
Oh, it was so fun.
Super fun. We're so glad you're with us. Thank you, Devaney, Divin, Stewart Title, Sugar Land, and thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, together with John Bramlett and all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance. We appreciate you listening. Check us out. The YouTube channel is Radio Bill. Right, Devaney?
Oh, yeah. What you said.
Radio Bill or Stewart.com/radio. So there you go. Check us out. You can see the show, the YouTube videos, show archives, and
Thanks for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thanks for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I was like,